Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to bake is the easiest cinnamon rolls recipe that I think I've ever made. I do have 4 other ones. In fact, I have a clone recipe for Cinnabon, so if you don't like this one, there's 4 others to check out on my channel. This particular one is actually made with a cake mix, believe it or not. You'll need 1 white or yellow cake mix of your choice. You're going to need an envelope of active dry yeast, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons, and you'll need 5 cups of all-purpose flour. And what I did was I actually made it in my bread maker. You can make it by hand if you prefer. But again, the bread maker was so easy, so quick. It did all my kneading, all my rising, and that kind of thing. And I want to show you, I'm going to take this out, just put some, dust some flour on my countertop, and show you how beautiful this dough comes out. Now again, this is made with just all-purpose flour and a cake mix, believe it or not. And these come out so light and airy and delicate. And I don't know if you can see how large the dough is. I mean, the yielding of this dough and how fluffy and light that it is. It's really quite incredible, because you wouldn't believe it's made with a cake mix. So now I'm just going to roll it out, and you want it 10 by 18, a rectangle. So I've got my little tape measure here. Okay, and we'll get the 10 going first. Set those aside. And now let's go for 18 inches of a rectangle. And we need to make it just a little bit longer. And I'm going to quickly flip it towards me. There we go. Alright, let's do that again real quickly here. And this has got to come out just a little bit more. And square it off. And just a little bit more. Okay. Alright, there we have it. So we've got a nice rectangle here. I'm just going to even it out and try to square off the edges a little bit. 10 by 18. And now in a smaller bowl, what you're going to do is you're going to combine a 1/2 cup of butter or margarine, if you prefer, that's been at room temperature. And you're going to put in a cup of brown sugar. And then just start working that in with a spoon or a fork. And then you're going to put 2 teaspoons of cinnamon in. Now, what's optional, if you want, you can put a 1/4 cup of nuts in, your choice of nuts, walnuts, pecans, whatever. And you can also add optional a 1/4 cup of raisins if you want. But I kind of like just the traditional cinnamon rolls. Now once you do that and you've combined it all, just put it in your microwave for just a few seconds or so, 15 seconds, and I'm going to do that real quickly to show you. So about 15 seconds you want to put that in your microwave. I'm just going to, while I'm waiting, make sure that this is nice and even. These come out so good. You're not going to believe that they're from a cake mix. Okay, 15 seconds is up. And then just stir it again. And then just start putting it on your dough. And then with a butter knife or whatever you want to use, you could, you know, put it on with your hands if you want. Try to stay away from the edges if you can, because when you roll it, it's going to be easier so it doesn't come out the seams. And just try to spread this out as evenly as you can. You can leave it in the microwave a little bit longer, and sometimes it is a little easier to spread. But once it melts, it goes all through the rectangle, through the dough. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Okay. So I'll just try to push a little bit more over to the edges. And this again is when you could put on those 1/4 cup raisins or a 1/4 cup of chopped nuts if you want, which is optional. Okay, and then we're going to roll the long end up first. And as we roll it, just kind of roll and tuck. Try to keep it as even as possible when you're rolling. Now these rolls really taste best. You can actually buy cream cheese frosting and put it in your microwave for 30 or 40 seconds, and then drizzle cream cheese over them, frosting. I actually like to use just a powdered sugar glaze, a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar to maybe a tablespoon or a little less of water or milk. If you want to, put more of a glaze on that, just double it. And then when you get to the end of it, make sure that you do seal it. And then roll it over to you a little bit closer so you can see it. And then just seal off your edges. Now, you should get 15 very large rolls from this. And what I like to do, I'm going to bring this just a little bit closer to me, and as I move it, it helps for me to use my fingers to seal it. I like to cut it, instead of using a knife, I like to actually just use some string that I use for baking. And what you want to do is just, I'll show you, I'm going to try to get to the middle if I can. Get underneath here. There we go. Okay. And then just take your thread and just cross it over, and you'll have a nice clean cut. And you're going to cut them probably about 1 inch to 1.25 inches. It really depends how big you want them. But you should get 15. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a 13 by 9 pan, and on the 13 by 9 pan, I'm sorry, I forgot to take it out. Grease your pan, and then just take your cinnamon roll, which I'll show you what it will look like, and then just lay them into your 13 by 9 and put them very close together. You really want that, okay? And what you're going to do is, once you do that, put a towel over them or a piece of saran wrap and let them rise. And they're going to probably take you about maybe 25 minutes to do that. If you make the dough in your bread maker, okay? After 25 minutes, then go ahead, put them in your oven at 350 degrees, and they're going to take you anywhere from 19 to 23 minutes to bake up these 15 cinnamon rolls. I have some to show you, and look how beautiful that they come out. I don't know if you're able to see how thick they are, and they're so delicate and light tasting. No one's going to believe that these cinnamon rolls were made with a cake mix. Just absolutely beautiful. And then I drizzled over lightly a powdered sugar glaze. So what a great recipe. I want you to see one. And how pretty that they come out and how large they come out. Boy, are these great for breakfast with a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, that kind of thing. I hope you like this recipe. If you do, leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.